Hi, good evening and good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining once again. To everyone who has joined from various parts of the world, both India and international. We will be starting our session in another 1 minute. We're just ensuring everybody joins. We already have Nikhil with us as part of today's um, session. But before we start, since there are many members who have registered for today's session, I would really request कि हम थोड़ा सा wait करें. Our session is in English and Hindi both. But as we know that we have members from other parts of the country, other parts of the world, we will try and keep it mostly in English. This session is with Nikhil Mehrotra, who is a writer-director for many known films. And we are very happy to have him with us. While everyone is joining the session, we will take about 1 or 2 minutes to talk about more about our platform, Cininfo, just to give you a little bit of overview of as to where you've joined. If you already know about Cininfo, great. If you don't know about Cininfo, I'll tell you a little bit about it. I have you can see our speaker is already with us. Hi, Nikhil.
Hi, Dina. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for joining. We have a lot of registrations today. So, and they are from various parts of the world. Some of them are joining at 8:30 and 9:30 in the morning. So we'll take a little bit of time before everyone joins. I will
Sure,
try to engage everyone by telling them a little bit about our platform till then. I don't
sure,
want anyone to miss out on your session. So for the next 2 to maximum 3 minutes, because we like to start on time, we will just talk about our platform and what is it that you can expect from Cininfo. Like you can see, we have an industry expert like Nikhil with us today, who is going to talk to you a lot about an upcoming workshop, which is going to be hosted online. And we will know a lot more about it. And before we do that, just to tell you what is it that you can expect on Cininfo. Cininfo is an online platform which has been designed to support early career, mid-career, members in the film, television, and the entertainment industry who are interested in creating or being part of content in whether want to be a storyteller or you want to be an artist, one way or the other, are part of the entire storytelling space or within the arts and entertainment space. So very happy to have all of you here today with us. This is our objective, to be able to support you as part of your career and your navigation requirements for you to build a good career in the industry. And hence we have experts from various different departments joining us, trying to support all our members to understand how you can build your career in this space. One of the toughest is to build your career as a filmmaker, a writer, or director. And in order to do this, what we have done is we have created various platforms, whether it is sessions in the past. Nikhil has conducted a very invigorating and educative session, which is there as part of our video library, where he talks about various aspects of writing for films and for you to be able to navigate your career as a writer and a director. But today we are here to, and because we've had a lot of people reaching out after that session for wanting to learn more about how one can be a good quality script writer, you can actually create or learn the art of script writing. Hence, we reached out and we were able to find time from Nikhil to be able to move to the next level of running a more in-depth series of sessions which are quite in-depth workshop on the art of script writing. And that's what we'll explore today. So we have kind of shared more. I will share more details about our platform and about us on the chat. So I hope you are able to access the chat so that you can see the links. I'm putting out the link of our Instagram, and I will put out the link for the registration of the workshop as well on the chat, and you can access that. But without any further ado, I would like to now start the session. Hi, Nikhil, once again. Thank you for waiting along with us. I will just unmute you. Yes. Great.
Thanks, Dina. Thanks for having me here. It's it is a pleasure to share some of the experiences, and if it can help answer some questions, then I think I'll consider myself lucky, because I think the journey is what I feel.
Completely agree. And yes, we are really looking forward to your session today and for you to also share more about the upcoming workshop. What I have done, Nikhil, is I have created a short deck. It is basically the information which is on our website, on our Instagram. I have broken it down and I will just share my screen now. This particular session is being recorded. We will put up the recording on our website. You can watch it later on in case you get disconnected or you drop off. Please don't worry. It'll be great if you stay till the end because you can ask your questions. But in case you do get dropped off, please make sure that you can access it you can access it as part of your learning and you can know more about it. So I'll just share my screen right now. Right. So to tell you a little bit about Nikhil, and I think I would like to take the pleasure of introducing Nikhil, but to also tell you a little bit about Nikhil, and I think most of you know about it already. But Nikhil is a writer and a director, and his journey is a lot to do with content like Dangal, Chichore, Gunjan Saxena, Panga, Mr. and Mrs. Mahi, and many more. And he has been a part of story and screenplay and dialogues from all the above features. While Dangal remains to be one of the highest grossing film, and I think many of us have seen it, I actually find it as one of the most, inspiring films till date. What I feel is even films like Chichore, which was a unique take on students who are struggling to understand what is their journey, and there's a lot of struggle for students who have very demanding education, how they learn from their parents and how parents learn from their students, from their children is something very interesting. Similarly, Panga, I found that film also something which was really exciting and I related to it myself. So there's a lot of film which is very real, which Nikhil has been part of. It's amazing how he's able to capture them so beautifully, the whole narrative and everything. Before foraying into filming, Nikhil was in advertising and has an experience of 14 years as part of being a creative head for several advertising agencies and has led over 50 brands. And some of the work which you would have seen of are brands like KBC, McDonald's, Cadbury, Tata Sky, and so on and so forth. And he's picked up various medals for that, and he's known for his creative work and excellence. Today's workshop is to do with the art of script writing and workshop by Nikhil. It is a live workshop. It is for 4 days. The dates are 21st and 22nd of October, and then there is a gap and 26th and 27th. The reason there is a gap in middle, because you will receive an assignment and you will need that time to complete the assignment, and then your assignment post submission will be discussed and you will be given inputs. We will talk more about this in the next slide. The venue is online, so you will receive a Zoom link. It will be a live workshop with Nikhil. But it will be on Zoom, so you can access it at any time from any part of the world. The time is 7 p.m. India time. This has been done keeping in mind a lot of working professionals in India as well as internationally. This time sits well with everyone. Hence, it's 7 p.m. But it is a limited batch purely because it allows the expert, in this case, Nikhil, will be able to work with all of you on a one-on-one basis. And you will receive certificates which have been signed and endorsed by Nikhil for all students who attend. Having said that, moving on to the topics, here I would request Nikhil to kind of tell you a little bit more about the topics and to elaborate more as to what will you learn as part of the workshop. Nikhil, over to you.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Uh, Hi, Nikhil, we lost your audio. Yeah.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm sure we read and studied a lot about writing, from various other mediums and stuff like that. However, and I'm not one to say ki what's right and what's not right because everyone has their own take on it. So I'm also just here sharing what has been my experience of it and what have been the learnings for me from my own experience. And some of them I feel are the learnings of keeping today's market in mind as well. Right now, honestly speaking, the Hindi film industry is going through not its best time, is what I'll say. But what it allows, these points are more than dips or more than bad times. They are transition points. When the industry or anything is kind of transitioning into a new phase or into a new era, that is when one sees this kind of a lull period, and then everyone kind of dives into to understand what exactly is happening and what is going to be the trend, upcoming trend. Obviously, the basics are not going to change, but everything has to evolve. Whether it's a car or anything. It's whether it's filmmaking, films. So if films evolve, writing will have to evolve. So I have tried to keep some topics from, which are very, uh, what do you call, like, which are very, the issues of today. Some of them are also the issues of today, which I have tried to keep in mind for the sessions. So, I think somewhere I had read, and sometimes it happens, that I, like in the initial days when I used to feel, uh, okay, I have got an idea, or say if it's a commission film, somebody's briefed me on an idea or whatever, and why am I not sitting on the laptop and writing? Why am I not able to do it? Why uh, it's been 2 days, it's been 3 days, it's been 4 days. Why am I not filling the pages? Because fortunately, unfortunately, that's also the expectation from the person on the other side of the table who matlab, it can be a producer, it can be a creative director or a creative development person or a studio executive from somewhere. There sometimes their expectation is also that now that we've met and now we've discussed about the kind of film we want to make, so just go and start writing, just start filling pages. But I used to always be lost in those early days कि यार क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? Why is it not happening? Why is this is it procrastination, why is this lull in between? And that is, I think, sometimes when you're struggling with this issue, and if a third person comes and tells you something, या आपने कहीं कोई मास्टर क्लास में देख लिया, so I think I happen to see Aaron Sorkin's master class, and that is why I understood that actually I'm not wrong. What I'm suffering from is called the writing before the writing. you know Writing is not sitting at a laptop and filling pages or opening final draft and just start. Let's just start with a scene one, scene two, whatever. That is sometimes I feel people mistake it to be writing. Right, there is a lot of writing that happens before you actually put pen to paper or your fingers to keyboard. There's a lot of writing. Now, what is that writing? What is that writing? What is that deep dive that you actually need? वो base camp area जो है वहां तक जो पहुंचना है, वो that journey is very very important. That is very very important because that will define that you have to think of what is the point A of the film, what is the final point, where is the film going to end, mota mota, what is the interval point, what is the first half of the first half, what is the first half of the first half, and then what is the second half of the first half, then decide what is the first half of the second half, and then what is the second half of the second half. This math, this calculation has to happen mentally. You have to define the tracks, individual tracks, the characters, or wo kya hoga. And again, see, choti, I'm just gonna touch upon subjects in a little as think of it as just as a trailer of what we might get into. When we define characters, a lot of people uh, say, और मैंने खुद भी सोचा है कई बार ऐसे, when I also didn't know, and obviously a lot of people have shared this कि sorry, I think I just went mute by mistake. This character will speak in filmy lines, or this character is going to have a. This is the way the character will walk, or this is the way the character will talk, or this is this character will have a tick every time this character winks. Now that is not a trait. That is going to make your scene funny. That is not going to help the character take the story forward. So character building is not about, like, I don't want to quote anyone, but somebody said, because this person plays this sport, then she should have a habit of kicking. Of course, can have, because it is borrowed from the sport. But that is not going to help you create a character. That's a quirk that will add something to a scene. कहीं बैठे और किसी को लात लग गई. That's all it can do. What a character really needs is, that the character needs to have a want. And between her or him and the want, there should stand an obstacle. अब वो obstacle external भी हो सकता है, internal भी हो सकता है, it could be fear. But there has to be some motivation for the character to go past that fear, that obstacle, to reach the want. And that is how character will get built. अब उसमें आप वो टिक डाल दो, ये डाल दो, वो डाल दो, उसको फिल्मी लाइन बोलने की आदत है वो कर दो, that is all garnishing on the top. So this is something, इसके भी we'll try to go in depth of these things. Obviously we'll cover ki when we talk about this, when we talk about characters, when we talk about I'm when this person say has a habit of talking in a certain way, it will come in very handy when you're writing the dialogues for this character, because that is where this beautification will help. This trait of this character will help. ये character भूलता है, this character tends to forget things, or this character tends to mix things. It will not help in the character journey, it will help in dialogue writing or screenplay building. So these are some important subjects that one needs to that at least I learned in my journey. And I just feel, because sometimes, a lot of times when I meet young guys, every time this person sees coffee, he feels like drinking it. हाँ ठीक है, but उसका कहानी से क्या लेना देना है? How is it helping the story take forward? It's not. It's an interesting trait. Nobody is denying that, but a character has to exist so that it can take the story forward, and the character has to exist because the story has to affect its life. उसमें उसको कॉफी पसंद है कि चाय पसंद है is inconsequential in that moment. It will play some role. It should play some role when you're developing the scene or the dialogues, because we're always very driven by writing great scenes, writing great dialogues, which brings me to the other topic. Where is the structure of the story? Just by writing scenes and dialogues, and if one is coming to the Hindi film industry, तो आपसे ये expectation होना ही है कि okay, write the scenes, write the dialogues. But if you pick, like, for example, please, everyone should also go and see Angry Young Men, the documentary made on Salim Saab and Javed Saab, well, they, I think, by far been the best writers, because what they understood beautifully is, or what they, I think, applied is there, that the story needs a structure. Obviously, it was all designed well, and it was all garnished very well in stage two with amazing scenes and good dialogues. But if the story doesn't have a structure, then it will be back to back scenes, and I'm gonna wait for a scene, I'm gonna follow a scene, I'm gonna remember a dialogue, I'm not going to follow a character, or I'm not going to follow a story as such, or a plot. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that, how this structuring of story is a mix of both art and math. There's a lot of math that goes into it. It's not just, at least according to me, it's not just about, you sit and, the artistic side of you is going to, you'll have a brain wave and, you'll crack it. No, there is a lot of math. That's what I have experienced, that goes into structuring the story, because there's something you're going to plant somewhere which has to pay off somewhere much later. There is a trait that you develop. Now that trait has to be of some value somewhere later. Now, ये math होता है. There's a graph, कि, okay, everything is going fine. Something has to happen. Only an understanding of that graph and this math will help you plot your or structure your story, map your story well. Obviously, in that, characters have to go hand in hand, whether it's a protagonist, antagonist, it's a catalyst character, or it's a conscience, it's the mirror character hai, ya jo bhi hai, they all have to go hand in hand. But so we'll get into the depth of all these things, as we uh, when we have a workshop. I want to talk about understanding the audience aspect. I really want to talk about it, because I think that is a very recent study that I have also done, which I want to share. That now, it's, don't misunderstand. Also, the what sometimes see sometimes it's, interpretation is also very important. There is X type of film has worked. It's very important to understand why that film has worked. We blame it, and or not we, but people then start chasing and following. Okay, this film has worked because there's a big star, and there are some dance numbers, and there is a chase, there is a this, there is a that, so this film has worked, which I think is a very very wrong interpretation sometimes of why a film has worked. Now that uska correct interpretation karne ke liye, one has to understand what the audience has liked from the film. What is it, that one thing that audience has liked from the film, because today, at least the Hindi film industry is concerned, a lot of films with a lot of big stars are not clicking as they were some time back. Why? Because somebody interpreted a previous hit in a certain fashion and tried to apply it in the next one, but with the same set of people, that this particular film didn't work. Why? आपने वो, everyone picked up some same tropes and added to it, but it didn't work. Why? Suddenly, two films later, audience cannot get bored of the same kind of a thing. What is the interpreting? What is working, what's not working, and you know what, which will allow us to get into the subject of tapping into the emotions of the audience. It's like this advertising taught me, which is called insight, which it's a very common word which is used in films also. But understanding, like if there's a product, it's filling a need gap. Understanding that need gap is very important when you're writing a film also, because see, for product, it's a little easier because ki पेन है तो लिखने के काम आएगा, and you have to create an ad around it. But when it's films, you are only dealing with emotions. You're only and only dealing with the emotions. You're not dealing with a tangible benefit of a product. You're dealing with emotions. So, what emotion can this tap into? Is this the trend of today or not? Is this the trend of today or not? Nobody, understanding that, identifying that is very important. And there's a way to do it. And we will get into that. We'll understand this aspect, because to me, it can sound a little boring, but I have realized that it is a very, very important topic for anyone who's writing, for sure. Very, very important topic. Then, I want to talk about, I think something that I always keep talking about to anyone, wherever I meet is and if obviously if the subject is about writing, then research, the idea of research and how research helps and how to also research at the same time, you know, then we are going to get into what is the science of screenplay, what is the science behind screenplay, just like a whole film exists, there is a conflict, there is an obstacle which somebody needs to overcome, mota mota, that's what a film is about. All your scenes have to have that, they need to have, every scene need to literally have an obstacle with somebody, and it has to be overcome, which will allow you to go into the second next scene, which then again an obstacle. Then that is how an engaging film can be written. It's very tough. It is tough, because you have to keep doing this like literally 90 times in a film, in one film, because even if there are, maybe not 90, but whatever is the number of the scenes, but every time a scene happens, the scene has to be an obstacle, but that is the thumb rule. That is something that can't change, वो बदल नहीं सकता है. And that is what makes for an engaging film. Obviously, we'll dive into dialogues, details of it. What exactly, according to me, is the purpose of dialogue? There is, see, there is always an objective, I feel, of everything. Garnishing should not overshadow objective. Objective has to be achieved, but you have to make sure it is garnished. But garnished है, objective meet नहीं हो रहा है, तो उस डायलॉग का कोई मतलब नहीं है. There are multiple examples that can prove me, that one can throw at me and say, ये देखो, but ये तो ऐसा है, correct है, but according to me, it will still be wrong. The best examples that one will see, the examples that we remember, that stays in our archives, will always have this quality to it, is what I feel. That there is an objective of the dialogue, it just cannot exist for the sake of it, or to come in a trailer, or to uh, just for the sake of it. Yeah. Then yeah, I think, mota mota, this is all what I'm going to talk mostly about. Obviously, when I think I try to sum up structuring of story very quickly, because I think that's the agenda of this session anyway. But there's a day devoted to that one session, where, because it's a long one, the whole art and math of structuring a story. उसमें there are lots of sub subjects, like cracking an idea. What's the conflict? Is the story traveling? Plot is not a story, and story is not a plot. Understanding the difference between the event mapping and the graph of it, the characters, the arcs, the A story and the B story. What is the 3-act structure? And there is a structure beyond that also. Understanding that, कि वो क्या होता है. In the research, I think, which I just spoke about. Then as we move forward, like, we'll pick on each subject and talk about it and discuss that. We'll dive deeper into characters, because they are everything is very important, but characters are a very, very essential. They are the carriers of the story. They're the carriers of the film. उनके बारे में हम बात करेंगे. Characters will obviously then we'll get into the screenplay, the dialogues, and something which I just again which I learned the hard way, but I want to share is the discipline part of it. The discipline part of it, waiting for a brain wave or waiting कि अब mood होगा तो we sit and I think I have learned it the hard way कि वो होता नहीं है. One has to have a discipline of sitting. Sometimes we romanticize it too much कि it's a creative job. It has to come. It will come only when we keep trying. We have to reach there. एक जगह पे बैठ के वो सामने से आ जाएगा, प्रकट हो जाएगा, वो नहीं होता है. वो हर दिन चलना पड़ता है तो एक दिन कहीं प्रकट होगा रास्ते में आपके, बट उसके लिए चलना पड़ेगा क्योंकि वो नहीं आएगा आप तक, वो आइडिया नहीं आने वाला है अब तक. हमें ही सफर करके वहां तक जाना पड़ेगा, और सफर बोथ इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी दोनों का सफर अप्लाई होता है उसमें. सो या सी, एंड ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी अ टास्क. इट्स नॉट अ very very big task. It is but a very essential task, and I think I want to talk about it when we get there. So it's an interesting task, and it's a task जो काफी बार नजरअंदाज हो जाता है, but it's the first selling point for a film. So it's very important, and forget the selling point. When I worked backward on this task, and that is when I realized कि, oh God, this task is so important, is why I want to emphasize on it. And trust me, it will give you lots of ideas, rather than just one idea. This task will help you get a lot of other ideas. So yeah, I think, and then of course we'll get into the questions and answers and everything, and we'll talk in detail about your stuff, what you guys are doing, and like I'm here giving free gyan, so I will not hold myself from giving that, about your stuff, and hopefully it will help. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. I think this is mostly what we try to cover in those 4 days of session. And uh, honestly speaking, I think we'll have to move fast on certain things because these subjects, these topics can go as deep as one wants.
Great, Nikhil. Thank you so much. Actually, you have given us a lot of details. I will ask some.
Acha.
There's a lot of it, and I think this session itself has a small mini workshop element to it. Because to understand the audience and everyone, we'll take up questions, but in some time. So, couple of things I want to ask so that I can clarify certain doubts of members who want to join the workshop. The first is that as part of this workshop, is it important for people to know fluent Hindi? Because most films are made in Hindi in Bollywood, or if they are not fluent in Hindi, they could be writing in Malayali, Tamil, Telugu, or in English, or any other regional language. Can they still, or should they still attend?
Yeah, I think you should definitely attend because I think so. See, again, I'm now like say for example, okay, we are in India right now. Now the Malayalam cinema is not suffering as much as Hindi is right now, which is why I gave example of Hindi. However, the concept of story, what goes behind writing, that I think uh, applies to every language across the world. You know, then there is no that this type of what I'm trying to tell you is something which is only applicable to Hindi films and not applicable anywhere else. No, I don't think that's what I meant. Well, I was just giving an example, and because of this situation that we are facing here, it allowed me to dive deeper into understanding the trend and the importance of what emotions to relate to, and that's again a very what do you call it? It's a subject that applies anywhere. Just to give an example, just say in India, the trends are very different from the trends in West. Now, now the reason why Dangal worked in China, which became a coincidence actually, nobody, I don't think it was planned, because traditionally there is a not everything is similar, but there's a lot of similarity between Indian traditions and the traditions in China, at least as far as relations are concerned. अब ये चीज शायद अब्रॉड नहीं हो, ये वेस्ट में नहीं हो शायद, दिस में नॉट बी द रियलिटी ऑफ यूएस, बट वहां की भी तो कोई रियलिटी होगी. सो वेर एवर यू राइट, वॉट एवर यू राइट फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि वहां का वहां का ह्यूमन क्या सोच रहा है, what are their trends, what is cool for them, what is not cool for them, ये सब चीजों का समझ होना important है. अब वो कहीं भी आप लिखें, you're writing for an audience, so understanding your audience and what is good, bad, cool, uncool, acceptable, unacceptable for them is important, and this is what I want to talk about in depth. So इसका लैंग्वेज से कोई संबंध नहीं है, ना ही कोई कंट्री से, ऑनेस्टली.
Great. So this will address मतलब जितने भी languages हैं, if you're fluent in any language, for you to create the construct of how to build for a script, build for a story, build for your narrative is what we will be largely working on.
Yeah.
My second question is, if I am a working professional and I have been working on a script, मेरी struggle current project को लेके है, current script को लेके है, and maybe I have written in the past, maybe I haven't, but I am already working on something. Can I use this workshop to now make my current work go the next mile and complete it and everything, मतलब missing pieces and everything?
Yes, hopefully yes. Hopefully yes, because I think the law, again, this is largely talking about writing, you know, अब उसके, and obviously what I have learned and I have observed from great, better cinema, good cinema, and what I have learned where I have been part of some good work, that has happened, luckily. So I'm sure, see, like, okay, just to give you an example, I was dealing with or writing one subject, and एक point पे there was a breakthrough नहीं आ रहा था, there was no कि how to move forward, then okay, I read a book, I got some idea, then I it's one day it clicked to me कि okay, let me see this film just for to understand कि how did they solve this problem, because they were dealing also with a similar subject, and it's a film that's already made, it picked an Oscar and all. And when I saw the film, actually it clarified things for me. So basically that was also in a way like looking for answers, getting my answers from somewhere outside. There was something missing in my film, I was not able to pinpoint, but when I saw it somewhere, it gave me the piece of the puzzle that I was looking for, which was specific for my film as such. So yes, I hope कि आपके जो स्ट्रगल हो रहे हैं आपके स्क्रिप्ट में, उसका जवाब इसके थ्रू मिल सकता है. नहीं मिला, you can always ask this question then or later, hopefully we'll be able to find an answer to that.
Right. And my next question is, we will be starting this session at 7 p.m. India time, which is actually favorable for people joining in from India, from US, UK, and Europe. It's favorable enough time. How long is this workshop ideally supposed to go on? We know that we're supposed to be for 2 hours every day, but on an average, what do you think will be the optimum amount of time that everybody should set aside for this kind of a workshop?
I think to see, I think बात करते करते, I think in my, because see, it's going to be 4 days, so it's not that we need to cover everything in day one or whatever. But I think a good 2 hour 15 minutes should be a decent time to keep aside. There, because considering that there will be conversations. Sorry, considering that I will share in depth about the subject, then there will be conversations regarding the same. मेरे ख्याल से 1.25 घंटे on safe side, 2 hour 15 minutes is a good time slot, duration that one can keep in mind.
Right. And the last one which I have as a question is that इसके लिए कोई preparation, suppose I am still learning or I'm still writing and I've never had any scripts in the making. This could be technically my first. I could be like a novice completely. Should I join, or this workshop is not for me?
No, you should definitely join. You should definitely join, which is why I have covered a topic which मुझे पता है, मैं कई बार उस बारे में बात करता हूँ तो लोगों को यौन आना शुरू हो जाता है, लोग बोर होना शुरू हो जाते हैं, बट विच इज व्हाई आई पुट दिस टॉपिक की राइटिंग बिफोर राइटिंग क्या है, यू नो बिकॉज वहीं से इट विल स्टार्ट, इज हाउ टू स्टार्ट बिफोर यू एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड. सो आई थिंक फॉर फर्स्ट टाइमर्स, इवन इफ आपके पास इच्छा है लिखने की, तो भी आई थिंक one should consider this, is what I feel.
And would we be spending any time on the pitch, developing the pitch for the script? अगर script है, काम कर रहे हैं?
Yeah, so see, we'll have a task. See, like I'm saying, we can keep it. These are mota the thing that I want to talk about. But ऐसा नहीं है कि it is sacrosanct कि इसके बाहर हम कोई भी और चीज को टच नहीं करेंगे. ऐसा, there is nothing like that. There will be a task, but we'll keep a time aside or day aside with if there is somebody who wants to discuss about the synopsis or the story, but just we can try to not make it too long, because वो भी 20 pager हम कैसे सुन पाएंगे और सब सुन लेंगे. so how will we deal with that, so that we will not be able to. But yes, a synopsis level, if one needs to discuss, and obviously how to take it forward, how to put it forward in a proper pitch deck, and reach out to executives and those things, or kya. See, which is why I have not revealed about the exercise, but that exercise which I want to give you is actually the best knock on the door. बाकी सब उसके बाद आने वाला है. So if you have a synopsis, great. But that the exercise that I want to talk about is that knock on the door, which will help you get a foot in the door, and then obviously your subject has to be good enough. And along with that, आपको और क्या क्या ऐड करना है अपने pitch deck में, we'll talk about it and how to go about it. But this important element has to be there in your pitch deck. In fact, it has to be the first thing, कि it's like a hi or hello that you जो आप पहली बार किसी से कहते हैं, it has to be that, it's that. उसके बिना आप के लिए टफ हो सकता है पिच करना.
And last but not the least, you have also announced that you are looking at collaborators and interns as part of it, because it's a great way for you to find great quality talent to
Yes,
work with.
yes.
If you can
So
tell
yes,
us.
I am. Yes, I think I was क्या बोलते हैं, कि I was lucky, and I think I'll give a little credit to myself on this, that I was driven to write. I was driven to get into this or do this for my life, and lucky because I had a advertising job, with me, but that didn't allow me. So it was like I had to pick and choose, I had a job, so great, there was uh, some things, financial part was a little taken care, thankfully, but what it didn't allow me was time. मेरे पास हफ्ते के 5 दिन नहीं होते थे that I had to devote to my work. मेरे पास होते थे सैटरडे संडे, जो जनरली क्या बोलते हैं, कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड ने लीजर के लिए बनाए हैं, लेकिन मेरे पास वो बचते नहीं थे. बट आई यूज्ड टू बी वेरी हैप्पी टू जस्ट गो एंड राइट, एंड आई विश्ड कि मेरे पास ऐसे और कई दिन हो. तो I think, I've since then I've sorry, from the time I have started getting inquiries, if you're looking for a assistant or a young writer or a collaborator or whatever, since then I am also looking for somebody who is actually driven and passionate about it, and can take can run with something, can I hope you get the point. I'm not getting the word. So, definitely, I'm looking forward to working with such people, and hopefully, we can all create something like that, and where we can help each other, guide each other, because it's going to be a give and take. Hopefully I'll be able to guide, help you guys with something, and I'll in return learn a lot of things, because I'm assuming कि आप लोग में से कई लोग young भी होंगे, तो younger generation से काफी कुछ सीखने मिल जाएगा.
Great, thank you. Quickly, we'll take a few questions. So we have the first hand up by Manish. I'll just my request is please do ask questions related to the upcoming workshop. Any other thing, I think 1 minute answer hoga aapka, but you may not necessarily get the answer you're looking for. That's why we are doing this workshop. So my first question is from Manish. I'm just putting out, Manish, you can now ask your question. Go ahead.
Hello. First of all, thank you very much, Cine Info. Such an amazing meeting. My name is Manish. I'm from Canada. Nikhilji, you just nailed all the questions I had in my mind before this meeting. And the information just from this meeting, what I'm getting is I can't explain in words, but I had few questions and you answered without asking. Writing before writing. My goodness. I'm living here for 24 years and I'm coming back to India in November after 24 years after schooling. And actually in Canada, I work for a theater company and I have my own business too. So my question to you regarding the upcoming workshop, my schedule is so busy and I cannot spare for 2 hours every day for 4 days. So question is, do you take private classes? Like when I wanted to join this workshop you're doing, but my work schedule, my commitments, I'm busy. So do you take that? That's first question. Second, I'm planning to connect a bridge between Canada and India, between this theater company and India, to invite some of the script writers because they are always ignored. Like every week in TIFF, actors are invited, directors are invited, but script writers never. We did a workshop last year too with some casting director, but this year in 2025, I'm thinking of inviting one of the script writer. And after, when I saw that you are organizing this meeting, I was so excited because I have watched Dangal, I have watched Chichore, and I have watched Bhutnath Returns. So I have many questions which I can ask later, but only one question at this moment about this workshop. I am not able to, but how I can connect with you again for either for a group of people from Toronto, or I'm coming to India in November too. I need time. I need to talk a lot because right now everybody won't have that much time. So tell me what we can do about this, connecting the bridge between Canada and India, script writing.
So to answer the first question, honestly, this is first time for me that I am getting on a platform and talking about it. In past, there have been opportunities, but I was too shy, or I felt that okay, I don't have enough to talk about. So yeah, bro, I've never thought of private tuitions, for the lack of a better word. So this is what I'm doing. But yes, we can connect. I think the best person to connect us is Sin Info and the person who's behind Sin Info. You can talk to her. She'll be the best person to guide you. What you're saying, that a group of people or me coming there, I think they are the best people to. Even if we need to do something like that, I think they'll be the best person to guide us or help us.
And there is only one. So again, I cannot join that, but I'm coming over to India in November. So is there any way we can connect? So I need to connect from Cine Info? And thank you very much, Cine. I don't know the name of you, beautiful lady, but amazing work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manish. We will connect with you. My name is Deena. So you can write to us on Cininfo. On the website itself, there is a WhatsApp number. You can just tap on it and you can write to us. We will definitely coordinate with you. All the best for your scripts and safe travels to India in November. And thank you for joining today's session. Very happy that it was able to answer your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I was very excited. Thank you very much for organizing this.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you. Moving to the next question we have is with Aditya. Aditya, you have a question. Go ahead and ask your question now.
Yes, ma'am. I have one question. So basically, I'm a student of mass communication. Right now, doing my bachelor degree in mass communication in filmmaking. And I just wanted to know that I have many stories, but it's like I have its beginning, its middle part, and its ending. I know how I'm going to connect these things, but I'm still facing many problems, like logical problems. Like sometimes when I write, I find many loopholes, but I don't know how I can fix that thing. So I just wanted to know how I'm going to connect these things and get less loopholes.
Okay. See, I think the problem that you're facing, Aditya, is a common problem. Okay. That yes, as we, like what has happened with me, ki sometimes when I think of a four-liner, we better, get an idea. Then you think, oh, what an idea it is! Outstanding, this is going to change the world. Kind of a experience that one has. As we move forward, say convert that into a two-pager, then it opens up a lot of loopholes. Then when you further convert into expand it into like a 20-pager, there are many loopholes. So now this solving of the loophole is going to depend from story to story. There is no one stop solution to solving loopholes. However, I have often experienced this that there are some things we love too much in a script, but they have a logical flaw. But we are still not ready to let go of it, and we are trying to find a logical solution that the thing that we love the most, we can keep them in the film. My experience tells me that if there is a major logical flaw, then it maybe cannot be solved, or you can solve it by doing some patchwork here and there, but it will still be, you will not address the issue. So the best way is actually to be a little ruthless at that point and be honest to the story. Be honest to कि इस story में क्या बैठ रहा है बहुत correct तरीके से, instead of trying to keep something that you love but deep in your heart you know कि यार ये logically नहीं बैठने वाला. ये एक larger approach है which I try to apply, and it's very painful. It is very very painful, but it in the end it helps is what I've experienced. In the end it definitely helps. But जो आप प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हैं, एक बार मे बी वी कैन ट्राई टू हियर समथिंग एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि ओके इसका लूप होल कैसे सॉल्व हो सकता है. मे बी गेट अ लिटिल डीपर इनटू.
Right. Thank you, Nikhil, for this. Thank you, Aditya, for your question. Moving to the next question, and I'm telling you, you will not get your answers like this from a vending machine. Join the workshop. इसीलिए हम ये coordinate कर रहे हैं ताकि आप इस workshop को join करके in detail इन questions के answers को ले सके. Next question we have, and we'll take up about because this is a 1 hour discussion. So the next question we will take up is from Trisan. Trisan, this is your question. Go ahead and ask your question, please. आप अपना question पूछ सकते हैं, Trisan. Okay. Trisan, you can ask.
Am I visible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, I'm reading in class 12. I'm from Bengal. And निखिल सर, हम कभी कभी कुछ कहानियां लिखते हैं, वहां पे हमारा कुछ मोटिव होता है. लेकिन आपने जैसा बोला कि ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हम एक स्पोर्ट्समैन का कैरेक्टर लिख रहा है तो उसको फुटबॉल किक करना आता ही हो. बट समटाइम्स जैसे हम पुराने फिल्मों में देखते हैं या शाहरुख खान ने ये किया था, हम उस चीज को ह्यूमन लाइफ में एडेप्ट कर लेते हैं। आपने दूसरी तरफ से बोला पीपल, इंसान को जो पसंद है हमको वो कहानी में देना चाहिए, लेकिन समटाइम्स हम जो फिल्मों में देखते हैं हम वो एडप्ट कर लेते हैं। हम राइटर्स का भी एक मोटिव होता है, हम अपना मोटिव जब पुट करना चाहते हैं तब sometimes it's mismatch. Like I am writing a story books, and I have went to the publishers, but the publisher told me to change the ending. It's a triangle love story. I never match the people. There will be no happy ending. It will be a sad ending. But the publisher told me to change into a happy ending. But I have a motive to keep it sad. So should I listen my heart or the publisher?
The publisher is not the audience. Publisher is a good again be one of those people who has her or his own interpretation of the happy ending works. Now that need not be the fact. That can't be the fact, which is why you will have to go ahead, a step ahead, and understand that okay, no sad endings is correct for the story, and sad endings work. And sad endings work. ऐसा नहीं sad endings don't work. Sad endings do work. You might have to convince him that sad ending works, or you go to another publisher.
And
But जो
one more
आपकी कहानी के लिए करेक्ट है and वो सही है, sometimes it's, I'm sure you'll get people who will tell you get done and tried and tested formula ये है तो आप इसको फॉलो कीजिए. I don't think उसको कभी भी मतलब हर वक्त या कभी भी फॉलो करने की जरूरत है.
Right. Thank you so much, Trishan, for the question. We have a lot of them, so unfortunately, we can take only one question. More questions, join the workshop. Yes. सब कुछ आज ही सॉल्व नहीं होगा, एक ही मीटिंग में नहीं होगा. ट्रस्ट मी, इसीलिए वर्कशॉप बना है. ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस. इट्स 4 days intensive, and you will have assignment and you will complete something. तो जो है, even pitching to publishers, to producers, to any kind of recruiter whom you want to consider. एंड हाउ टू गो द प्रोसेस. जैसे उन्होंने कहा एक दूसरे पब्लिशर को, तो आप पब्लिशर को कैसे ढूंढोगे, उनका जो प्रोसेस है ये समझो उस पर्टिकुलर वर्कशॉप में. इन्वेस्ट इन दैट टाइम, इन्वेस्ट इन दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी. बट थैंक यू फॉर योर क्वेश्चन, त्रिशान. मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट वन, and we'll take up last 3 questions. Namrata is your next. Next is your question. Go ahead, Namrata. Please ask your question.
Hi. So first of all, thank you so much. Dina, I'll park that question later for the workshop. I'll ask something else. So I want to ask the support which we will be getting during these 4 days regarding our own story, our own script. Will that support be extended beyond the workshop? As in, I know that you won't have enough time to read 20 pages for everyone. तो अगर हम आपको बाद में ईमेल करें, व्हाट्सएप करें, any which ways, so that feedback if we can get later, not because I don't want to deviate from the workshop which you have planned, but उसके अलावा अगर support extend होगा क्या ये जो हम workshop करेंगे.
See, I think the idea of trying to attach an internship and all or associate in working का शायद आइडिया, लार्जर आइडिया यही था, वेयर आई गेट टू मीट और वर्क विथ यंगर ब्लड, यंगर टैलेंट और फ्रेशर माइंड्स. फॉरगेट यंगर ओल्डर की बात नहीं है, बट डिफरेंट टैलेंट, वेयर इट विल और डेफिनेटली बी वेयर आई विल हैव सम असाइनमेंट्स, सम वर्क to share, which I will expect you to work with me on that. And in return, not in return, but that work is going to be fluid. It is not just going to be ki I'll give you work and you will do the work and come back. It's going to be fluid enough for if you have something and you are stuck somewhere, so we will also sit and solve that. So वो internship से idea वही था, क्योंकि see, and again, these things are very, one cannot say कि यही तरीका है, ये नहीं है. Sometimes bigger issues can get solved in a minute. Sometimes they can't. So it's tough to guarantee in that session or post that session in that one day, say when you share it with me and I read and I हो सकता है immediately कोई solution निकल आए, ये हो सकता है नहीं भी, which is why. And also the last question, last to last question, that's one Aditya had asked, there are logical loopholes, ये है, वो है. Yeah, if logical loopholes or these loopholes can get solved in a day, then script तो actually 4 दिन में खत्म हो जाएगी लिख के, but वो 4 दिन में लिखी हुई स्क्रिप्ट तो 4 दिन वाली स्क्रिप्ट ही लगती है. So the way to go about it is we can try for that working collaboration, internship, वगैरह वगैरह, if obviously it works out. Yeah, I think that is the best way to solve it. आप मेरे को मेल मत कीजिएगा क्योंकि I'll tell you what, I think I am very bad at reading and responding. And in past I have upset people where they have sent and I have told them, yeah, you mail it to me, मैं देखता हूँ, and I have not. एंड मैं उनको नहीं एक्सप्लेन कर पाता हूँ कि अनफॉर्चुनेटली, क्योंकि उनका बुरा मानना लॉजिकल है कि यार इतना टाइम ये वो ये एंड ऑल दैट, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फेयर, बट see there are stuff that I'm also doing, so it's difficult for me to mentally detach, and read something and respond, and it doesn't happen that quick, which is why I have decided, if I have to, if somebody wants to share something, I'll request कि भाई let's do a video call or let's do a quick meeting जहाँ बता दो भाई सामने जो है, क्योंकि वो मैं I'm very bad at reading emails. In fact, last 1-2 बार से कुछ लोगों के मेल पढ़े मैंने, अब तक पढ़ के रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं किया है, and that has made me understand कि ये flaw है in me. So I'm going to rectify it like this, where I really want to indulge and help people as much as I can, and I want to, but maybe this is could be a way forward. This is how I do it. Either a one-to-one or a one-to-one, matlab digital one-to-one, or meet and discuss and take it forward, kind of a thing.
Okay. Just one quick question, sorry. Is there any preparation required before the workshop? Like if I'm watching a movie, should I keep something in mind कि ऐसे ऐसे picture देखनी चाहिए, मैं notes बना के रखूं, something like that?
पिक्चर तो आप जैसे जनरली लाइफ में प्लीज देखा ही कीजिए, अच्छी पिक्चर है, बट नहीं, इस सेशन के लिए ऐसा कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Namrata. Thank you for your question. Please put your question on the chat. आपके questions chat पे डालिए so that we can take it up. And next question is Jasbir. I am taking up Jasbir's question. Jasbir, go ahead and ask your question. Please put your question on the chat so that I know that we need to take up your question. And we have 2 more questions. Yeah, Jasbir, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you, Dina.
Yeah, before we start,
where are you, Jasbir? Where are you exactly, Jasbir?
But one second, before you start, just one second, Jasbir. We have only 4 seats left. We have only 4 seats left because we just saw, and this is a closed workshop, so we will not take up too many. We have only 4 seats left. Yeah, go ahead, Jasbir.
Yeah, the thing is, the light just went off right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, please don't worry. I'm just joking about it. Yeah.
Thank you for this platform, Dina and Screenplay, for organizing this. So my question is about the workshop, Nikhil. So my dilemma is, since you mentioned there that there would be a position of an intern or an associate, given how anyone performs on the assignments, right? So what query I had on my mind is, would it be an intern position or a collaborative position? How would you decide that, is what I was thinking.
See, I think it's in the sense, honestly, I don't have an answer for it right now. I think it's gonna depend a lot on the assignment, and definitely, if there is a person, who's younger, who's not written much, or who I feel as a intern we can do something about it, or if I feel, yeah, this person has written a lot, and this person knows a lot of stuff, and there is something that that kind of also interests me. Okay, yeah, this is a story that needs to come out, that needs to be said, but it needs some kind of correction. Then yes, we can get into more collaborative. See, collaboration is going to happen even when we are an intern. Nobody is going to, uh, get into the zone ki, you put your work and you will not be credited for it. ऐसा नहीं होगा. It will credit will always be there. Job description and profiles, uh, uh, job descriptions rather will be different. Scope of work will be different. Sorry, the scope of work and nature of work can change. But whoever I work with, that person has always been created and will always be created. So that's a rule that I follow.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Jaspreet. Thank you for the question. Moving to the next, we have Kaustubh. Kaustubh's question is to do with an existential question. Go ahead, Kaustubh.
Hello, Nikhil.
Hi,
Huge fan of your work. I do have one question, and I'll not stretch it up. But the thing is, I've observed that we as a writer, we don't get pleased with our choices or our options very often. So my question is, at what point of time we feel that हाँ ये आइडिया जो है फिल्म को लेके या कुछ भी स्क्रिप्ट के लिए जो आइडिया है इस पे फिल्म बननी चाहिए लाइक बिकॉज कभी कभी वैसा होता है ना कि हाँ मजा आ रहा है लेकिन फिर हमको लगता है कि यार सच में मजा आ रहा है मतलब हम खुद को ही बात में क्वेश्चन करते हैं लाइक तो वो वाला जोन में कि पता कैसे लगे कि बिकॉज वी विल गिव आउट मैक्स टू मैक्स 1 ईयर 2 ईयर ऑफ वर्क राइटिंग वर्क ठीक है भले वो जॉब क्या तुम करो या विदाउट जॉब तुम करो तो काफी टाइम जाएगा तो कौन से पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम में एक राइटर को पता लगता है कि यार हाँ इस पे या वो लीप ऑफ फेथ लेना पड़ता है तो आपके एक्सपीरियंस से आप प्लीज आप गाइड कीजिए कि आप अपने फिल्म्स पे आपको कब एक पॉइंट में आता है कि हाँ चलो लीप ऑफ फेथ लेते हैं कि क्या करते हैं
So I think it's honestly, Kaustubh, it's a mix of couple of things. I'll be very, and I am also I'm somebody कि मुझे I, okay, what happens, how my system works, and I'm sure शायद ये सबका अलग हो सकता है, but जो मेरे लिए work करता है ना, I think there are a lot of times कि ऐसा 4-liner will excite or 2-liner will excite or the 1-liner is gonna excite. I just feel कि नेक्स्ट डे आई मे फील कि हाँ ये ठीक ही है यार, ऐसा तो कुछ आउटस्टैंडिंग लगा नहीं, कल एक दिन पहले तक बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था, जैसे न्यू टॉय सिंड्रोम जो होता है. बट इफ इट कीप्स कमिंग बैक टू मी, लाइक 4 दिन बाद भी ऐसा लग रहा है अरे था तो यार कुछ उस आइडिया में, था तो कुछ, तो देन आई डेवलप इट इन पार्ट्स. इनफैक्ट मोस्ट चीज में मैं वैसे ही ऑपरेट करता हूँ, डेवलप इट इन पार्ट्स. ओके, लेट्स सी कि कहाँ जा रही है कहानी. फिर एक पॉइंट के बाद एक थोड़ा सॉलिडिफाई हुआ, जो चीजें और समझ में आने लगी कहानी के बारे में. And if I still feel excited, it keeps coming back. It keeps telling, like, I feel like going to the board and working on it. Then I feel कि नहीं यार कुछ तो है इसमें, there is something. Then obviously I think एक point के बाद there is also this issue of perspective loss होता है, because you're so into it. It's tough to see the good and bad का अंतर भी समझना थोड़ा थोड़ा difficult हो जाता है. I have my set of people, who will always be very honest with me. उसमें से कुछ विद इन इंडस्ट्री के हैं, कुछ नहीं है, बट दे आर ऑलवेज ब्रूटली ऑनेस्ट विथ मी, एंड आई पुट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम आफ्टर अ सर्टेन पॉइंट. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करने के बाद डालने में थोड़ा स्ट्रेस भी होता है, बट एक सर्टेन पॉइंट पे जाके आई पुट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम एंड आई आस्क कि क्या, व्हाट डू यू गाइस थिंक, एंड दे गिवन अ वेरी ऑनेस्ट ओपिनियन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. And it has helped. Sometimes it has helped कि हाँ but ये जा जाके कहाँ ही जाएगा. There was something which was pitched to me which I was feeling very excited about. But then I asked, and that one person made me see a loophole in it, which I was not able to see, to be honest. And that's when I realized, oh हाँ यार correct है ये. तो ये 3-4 चीजों का mix है. sometimes it's also that a person says कि हाँ but यार it's okay, like कभी कभी लोग इस perspective से आते हैं कि ये बिकेगी नहीं, या who is going to do that, I ignore. I think बिकेगी नहीं, ये नहीं होगा, or a producer will not be interested, वो मैं ignore करता हूँ, because I think that's very that depends a lot from time to time. 2 साल पहले तक films that producers may not be interested, today they will be, but 2 years later they might not be. तो जब तक ये फिल्म खत्म होगी, we don't know तब तक क्या माहौल रहने वाला है. तो इस टाइप के फीडबैक को मैं अवॉइड करता हूँ भाई. कहानी में idea is interesting or not, is it going to touch hearts or not, is it going to be exciting or not, is it fresh or not, those are the kind of feedback I seek. And not the feedback कि इसमें चेज आएगा कि नहीं, ये आएगा कि नहीं, और गाड़ियां उड़ेंगी कि नहीं, प्रोड्यूसर बाय करेगा कि नहीं, ये टाइप का फीडबैक देते हैं लोग, डेफिनेटली देते हैं, बट दैट आई चूज टू नॉट हियर.
तो बेसिकली मैंने समझा कि अगर एक्साइट आपको जितना आप एंटर हो रहे हो प्रोजेक्ट में तो भी एक्साइट कर रहा है, तो दैट मींस कुछ तो सब्सटेंस है.
करेक्ट, यस, टू सम इट अप, यस, इफ आई लाइक होता है मेरे साथ, सडनली ऐसा फील होगा रात को कि लेट्स गो यार, जाते हैं, बैठते हैं लैपटॉप पे, लेट्स गो एंड सिट. तो दीज आर थिंग्स दैट आई फील कि वो, और देयर आर स्क्रिप्ट्स दैट अनफॉर्चुनेटली हैव कम और आई हैव बीन पार्ट ऑफ अर्लियर, जहां बोर होता था कि कि अरे यार अभी जाना पड़ेगा वापस से अंदर. तो मेरे ख्याल से दैट दोज आर माय मार्कर्स ऑफ यार कुछ बात है कि नहीं है.
Understood. Thank you, Riya. Thank you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Kaustav.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Last two questions we have are of Angam and Grover. Angam, you can go ahead and ask your question now. आप अपना question पूछ सकते हैं, Angam.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes. You can switch on your video.
Yeah, just yeah. So I just wanted to ask. I'm a BBA graduate, and now I'm looking forward to do something in this field. And I've written many, I will not say scripts, but synopsis. And also registered it with SW. Also, I have pitched it to some production houses. I received some response, but most of them I did not receive any response. So I just wanted to ask that how did you start, or how did you first connect with your first film or your first script that you are writing?
See, Agam, in my case, it was a little different from the process that you're going through. I think I was lucky that my first were, in fact, the first few came looking for me. I was now these are the term that I use are these are commissioned films, which a production house has already had an idea whether it's based on a real life or something of that sort, and which they are excited about, and then they look for scout for writers, and that's how I got this kind of work. Now, I think this the problem that you're saying is it's normal. If you ask me, it's normal. Not everyone is going to like and respond to what you've written, because that's just how it is. We rarely कुछ फिल्में ऐसी होती है जो सबको पसंद आती है. उनमें ऐसा नहीं होता है most of the times. Somebody or the other will definitely. I don't want to take names, but I have also come across people who have a problem with Dangal also. So I think you have to be एक तो patient होना पड़ता है definitely. Plus, it's tough for me to answer this question exactly on what you're saying, because I don't know आपने क्या भेजा है. I don't know what you have sent, what is the genre of it, what is it like. how detailed is that 5-pager or 10-pager या वो जो भी है, or is it just a synopsis, and whom have you sent it to, and is this kind of production house looking for this kind of subject or not? मतलब ये आपने कुछ मतलब थॉट प्रोसेस हुआ है नहीं हुआ है, उसके बिना थोड़ा इट्स टफ टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन की, क्योंकि सी प्रोसेस वही है कि देयर विल बी स्टूडियो एग्जीक्यूटिव्स, लाइक क्रिएटिव डिपार्टमेंट, क्रिएटिव डेवलपमेंट वाले लोग होंगे, या कोई क्रिएटिव प्रोड्यूसर होंगे, या प्रोड्यूसर होंगे, और उन्हीं को भेजना है, उन्हीं से कनेक्ट करना है. नाउ व्हाट इज द कंटेंट is more important than, and who you send it to. Of course, that definitely is very important. Then how to send it, to be very honest. So
Right. Thank you so much. Last question is by Grover. Thank you, Agam, for your question. Grover actually has a very specific question. उनका question है कि हम script writing tools use करेंगे क्या?
मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर की बात कर रहे हैं.
I think so. Grover, please go ahead and explain your question.
Hi. Yes, I'm basically located in Toronto, Canada. And thanks for Nikhil and Dina for organizing this wonderful Zoom call. My question was specific. Is this course going to teach us how to use a scripting tool that is available online? I have some experience with one of them, that is invideo.ai. I've done some small short films like on Instagram. So I was wondering if there was going to be a use, because now AI is coming in big way and helping. You just put an idea and that the whole thing does it for you. Are we going to learn anything like that?
No, we are not going to learn anything like that, and we will also not cover how to use the script writing tools. Like when you say script writing tools, I'm assuming how to use Final Draft, the software on which we write the script. Or are you talking about how to feed in data in ChatGPT so that it gives us some ideas?
Well, in fact, I tried ChatGPT. It does everything, even including the dialogues, and then you can edit it to your liking and then upload it into tools like invideo.ai, which develops everything. It does the dialogues, like actual voice. It adds a film that you want, and music, everything. It picks it up for you. So I was just wondering if this course that you're going to be organizing, will it cover as one of the chapters in this?
No, unfortunately, we will not cover this.
Okay, no worries. That's fine.
Okay, Grover, thank you so much for your question. Moving to the next one. Thank you. Moving to the next one. And I think I have two questions on the chat, so I will just ask that. Will we be working on a real script? So one question is from Himanshu. Will we be working on a real script? Not sure what do we mean by that, but on a real script or a live.
See, in this workshop is mostly about it's like getting the basics right, getting the theory part right. We are not going to dive into a script and okay, chalo, let's start working on it. This is to understand the basics of writing, to understand what writing is. Hopefully, it's like about learning ABCD. Then you try and form your own sentences.
Okay, great. That actually answers the question of two people who are interested in writing, have not written anything serious till now, and would want to start their journey. So yes, both of you can look at this particular, but we have now very few seats left. The reason it's less is because although it's a group, it's going to be a one-on-one focus. So that's why we're keeping it small. We're keeping it in a number where Nikhil can work with you, whether you have a working script, whether you have a working project, whether you have something at the back of your mind. So while the workshop goes on, your individual objectives are discussed, are attended to. So that's very important. And that's one of the things. So for example, if you have many scripts and you are pitching and you're not able to understand, let's relook the script, or let's relook the structure, or let's relook your process. Those are things which Nikhil will be working with you. And if there are any further questions, I have put down our numbers and the link on the chat. I will do so again one last time. But this is, we have a few seats left, so we will close admissions. Although the workshop starts almost 10 days from now, but maybe we will have to close admissions in the next 1 or 2 days, because we'll try and create another batch maybe after a couple of months or something like that. But as soon as this batch is full, we'll have to close the admissions for that. But thank you all for joining. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. I'm again attaching the workshop registration link on the chat. Till then, last few words from you, Nikhil. Everybody knows about the fact that you are going to look at few members to partner with you as interns or even as collaborators. Just to confirm, it is not a guaranteed internship or guaranteed work opportunity. Out of the batch of 20, it will be Nikhil's discretion as many members can be accommodated as interns or whoever can be accommodated as collaborators, because this is a great way for you to also find good partnership, as well as Nikhil to meet great many number of people. So please go ahead and join the workshop if you want to solve for your current writing and your script writing needs. But last few words from you, Nikhil, before we wrap up.
I think just, guys will never forget that, we are at the center of the creation, whatever happen, a film, whatever, even if it's written on a set or whatever, but it cannot happen without the script. So we are technically at the center of creation, and we should never forget that. So let's empower ourselves, let's create something amazing, and I think rest will happen on its own. So focus on the process, focus on getting the material right, than reaching out to X, Y, and Z, because at the end of the day, it's the material that matters the most. वो film बन भी जाती है कई बार, but बनने के बाद हम ही उसको गाली देते हैं बहुत बार. So material is the most important thing, and respect that. What I feel.
Yes, very much. Absolutely. And this is one of the best ways for you to start your journey. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for taking out time. I know you have a very busy schedule. You're working on projects right now, but it is very sweet of you to take out time in the middle of the week. And we have almost a batch almost full. So they're all eager, looking forward. Many of them said, we are not going to ask our question now. We are waiting for the workshop. So that's another exciting thing. So this has been great. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you, everyone. And we hope to see you as part of the workshop. Any which ways you have access to Cininfo, please write to us. We will try to help you with your questions as best as possible. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful week. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dina. Thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot.